Hello everyone, and welcome to the 4th episode of The Journal. I'm Johnny Dean Stupor, and what a show we have for you this week. Isn't that right, Kayla?
That's right, Johnny. Hi everyone, I'm Kayla Smith, and today on The Journal, we're going to be bringing you the students that make school feel a little less like school, how manly men can get in touch with their feminine side, and the IT crowd who makes learning fun again.
Also on the show, we'll have a live performance from upcoming Toronto singing sensation, PG. And if you have a little trouble recuperating from that special night, our reporter Sean O'Neill has one segment you can't bear to miss. But first, let's take a ride on a big red fire truck with our first segment on the life of Toronto firefighters. Our reporter Jen Ingram had to tag along with the Main Street firefighters. Let's take a look.
Response 520 Plains Road, 520 Plains Road, Canadian Martyr Catholic School for the alarm.
Firefighting is one of the most respected jobs imaginable, but it doesn't go without saying that obtaining this value status is an easy process. Many young recruiters don't get accepted into the final recruitment level, and those that do experience 3 weeks of intense physical and mental training. Scott Hagerman has been a working firefighter for 6 years and knows how much rigorous training is involved in the current system.
Training for me consisted of 23 weeks, in which time the first 3 to 4 weeks we spent getting used to the guys that we were working with, and then it was medical training. So we went through, to be a firefighter, you have to have standard first aid, CPR. They taught us where we did half the day in class, and then the other half of the day we did out in the fire ground, where we're learning how to take a hydrant, get water to the truck, use the truck for the pumping purposes, and you know, use the ladders and how to roll hose and all that type of stuff. You're expected to learn a lot in the 3 weeks. I'm fortunate because I've always kept my first aid up from the time I was 15, so it wasn't too difficult for me, but there's a lot of guys that were in the trades that were in my class that did have problems with it because they just weren't prepared for what they would have to remember.
Steve Kozlinski is just one of the few recent recruiters participating at the recruitment center. He has undergone many challenges and will work at his assigned fire hall after his training is complete.
What they try to do at the academy is they start you off with the basic skills, and they progressively get harder and harder. What we're doing this week, this 11-week course that we're in, this week we're doing a medical training. That's a 3-week program. So we basically have to show all the skills that a paramedic does, just at a bit more of a basic level than them. Basically, when you come up, you need to be able to assess that situation and make sure that you're safe and your patient is safe as well, and be able to give them the proper care that they need. They're going to give you a scenario of an unresponsive patient, and you can see that we're wearing face masks and glasses. That's just for our own protection, because when we're doing compressions on a chest, you can get some stuff coming out of the chest cavity. Airborne pathogens can go through your eyes as well. He appeared to be unresponsive. He was unresponsive VSA. He's cold to the touch. We did a 45-second pulse check. We've done 1 no shock, and we've continued with CPR.
Scott works with a crew of 6 at Main Street Fire Hall. Their responsibilities during their 24-hour shifts include cleaning and maintenance of the fire hall and testing all components of the fire trucks. Most daily activity involves teamwork, such as draining and hanging hoses after being used for fire emergencies. Scott has worked at Main Street Fire Hall for 6 years and appreciates the knowledge and skills he has derived from his crew.
I'm very lucky. I've got a really good crew that I work with, a lot of really nice guys that know their stuff. So they were able to show me where I had to place my stuff on the truck, and we started going through operations that you would normally do in any day duty. Regular activity includes washing the floors, washing the trucks, cleaning the latrines, making sure that everything's clean and ready to be presentable in case public comes in. There's online training, so you have to do you keep your studies behind you. Yeah, we get a little downtime when we get back from calls and during every shift, where you can do stuff on your own, or with the guys that I have at this hall, we like to do stuff together. So we'll shoot some pool, or we'll play ping pong, just to sort of take the edge off stuff. It keeps everything light and gives us, a little bit of an outlet. We can talk about stuff that's happened on a call if you have an issue with it, and it's in a relaxed atmosphere. The first time you hear the tones go off, your heart leaps into your throat because you don't know what the call is. They try and give you a description of what you're going to as best they can, but you know, the medical calls you kind of get used to, but the fire calls, they're still exciting because you never know what you're going to be going to. And so when you get down, you get into your gear as fast as you can, and you get on the truck, and it's off you go. You know, the whole time you're just getting ready and psyching yourself up for what you might be coming to grips with when you get there.
I'm Dennis, I'll be your guide. At this stage of the game, it's called overhaul. So now we're looking to try to find the cause of the fire. We're looking in the walls, we're looking in the floors. We are trying to get an assessment of what happened here exactly. Might be a little bit wet, but I don't know if you got your... Yeah, I don't know how weatherproof your camera is, but... So by the sense of it, it started at the back and worked its way forward and then up.
There will be a chief there, usually, if it's a big fire, and sometimes he'll ask you to come in with him, especially if you were the first truck in, because you'll be able to tell him where you were fighting the fire, because a lot of times things are pretty destroyed. You know, you've got floors that have caved in, or ceiling parts have been pulled down for firefighting operations. You know, you'll pull the cabinets off a wall, you rip a wall open, so like stuff's not where it was when you got there.
The fire can hide for hours inside of a wall or in between the ceiling without anybody really knowing it until it feeds itself up enough, and then it can start a fire all over again. The adrenaline really gets pumping because we know there's something, and there was calls that there was somebody trapped in the basement, so that even further got everybody all revved up. The funny thing about this fire here, just on a side note, we were just a block away, but it's not our regular call area, so we weren't dispatched to this call. So we kind of sat by while we knew that there's a fire, but that's just the way it goes. But yeah, it's definitely a rush of a lifetime when you know you're going to a confirmed fire, because all the 5-6 years of training that I've done personally could be executed all in one fire. And it's exciting to use everything that you've been trained and taught to do to hopefully help someone in a situation like this.
Oh my, I think I should start some fires over at my place. What do you think, Johnny?
That's a terrible idea. Why would you want to start a fire in your own house?
Never mind.
You know, I started a fire in my house once.
And why would you do that?
Well, I was drunk. I wanted to get all the hot firefighters over to my house to put it out.
Wow, okay. Well, now that you mention it, have you ever woken up one morning post-drinking and said to yourself, I'm never drinking again? Well, get ready to take some notes, because our producer, Sean O'Neill, is on the hunt for that ultimate hangover cure.
Ever have one of those nights where as hard as you try to remember exactly what happened last night, the pounding head is a constant reminder that it was probably something stupid?
Here's a quick tip. Icing it doesn't work. After a while, the cooling sensation wears off and all you're left with is a numb forehead. A lot of people seem to think that bubbly soft drinks like these will do wonders in the morning. And while they will cure your nausea, they contain caffeine, which just like alcohol acts as a dehydrant. You're better off to find something with ginseng in it. It'll give you all the pick-me-up of a morning coffee, and it'll also hydrate you. Breakfast is a vital part of fighting the morning blues. Experts have recommended a wide variety of things, from honey to peanut butter, bananas, lemon juice, lime juice, tomato juice, raw cabbage, eggs, almonds, ginseng, and even sports drinks. Honestly, I can't take the chance of any of this not working. So